Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. Your host tonight are the usual four idiots. Bob, Corey, Nick, and Todd. Let's, before I even ask, I'm not even going to ask how everybody's doing first. I'm going to save that. We're going to try, we're going to do the housekeeping first. So, Corey, if folks are new to the show, where can they go to listen to past episodes?
Where can they go, Bob? Where can't they go? That's the real question.
Well said.
Anywhere, sir.
I lobbed that ball over the plate, and you're like, kapow!
Anywhere. If you're on the internet, or the internets, as some may say, yeah, you just look around the corner. You'll find the Schnozzcast.
Yeah. And that also includes YouTube.
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Twitch, all the social medias.
Facebook,
Grindr? Which you're probably watching on. Hopefully you're watching on right now. Grindr, yeah, we'll get on there.
Todd, make an account. Immediately. Put your drink down, make an account right now.
Making it right now, baby.
Type in Schnozzcast at AOL.com, and I'm sure you'll find us.
Farmers only?
There's a lot of AOL.com users out there still, surprisingly.
I want to say Danielle's mom still has an AOL email account.
Yeah.
It's either that or it's a Hotmail account.
Hotmail is, in my mind, it's not quite as antiquated as AOL. It's not as old school as AOL. So if you've got an AOL.com email address, I think you're rocking it hard. And speaking of hard, if
nice transition.
If your relationship is hard and you need some advice,
Yep.
or you just got a question for us guys on the show, you can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us right now at 618-SHOCKER.
On the shocker line. Ready to go.
Shocker.
Don't forget those dick pics.
Dick pics, yes,
Yeah, what's
please.
the dick pic count from last week?
Just one that was had a couple grays around it, and
Well, we know we got Todd's. Any besides Todd's?
no,
Okay.
just the one.
Come on, schnozzers.
Schnozzers.
I don't like that as much. Schnozzanistas.
Well, you're getting
Schnozzers.
better at it, but yeah, that's
Better?
We're going the wrong direction.
Schnozzanistas?
But I'd be getting worse if I was going the wrong direction.
That was the whole point.
Oh.
It was getting worse.
Schnozzaronis.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that. I
No?
don't know why. Yeah, makes me
So
hungry.
you want to break down fashionista
Yeah.
instead of pasta?
Pepperoni. Yeah.
Okay.
Between the two, I went with fashion.
Schnozzaholics.
All right.
Todd,
I don't know
Todd,
if-
once again, as the utility infielder on the show, covers up for the errors at second base.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any schnozzaholics yet. But I hope one day. God, I just can't get enough of this show.
Didn't you at one point have a name shall not be named folks that were texting you on the show that were wasted, going like, "This is hilarious"?
No, I don't think that's ever
You sure?
happened.
I'm not naming names.
I don't
You could
think
say
so.
yes.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like that's happened.
Yeah, remind me. I was gonna say during the break, but after the show.
I will.
Still back in those days, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, boys. How was your week last week?
How are you now?
How are you now? Corey, how are you?
Oh, hello, Bob.
How was your week?
You know what, buddy? Danielle and I went and got some tattoos this week.
Some tattoos?
Some
You
tattoos.
tell.
Matching tattoos. No, I'm kidding.
Tramp stamps?
I can't see you ever getting a matching tattoo.
Tramp
You
stamps?
got an artist's soul, Corey.
That's a story for another time, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went and got tattoos, and real quick, because this story is really not about mine, but I do want to show everyone and throw it up on the screen real quick. So
Look at this cool tattoo.
I got the Big Lebowski sunglasses from the movie cover.
Are we going to see it up here? Or?
It's on the screen right now.
Okay.
On the back of my left calf, and again, Kate Darling at Thistle and Thorn
Oh, okay.
absolutely knocked it out of the park. Couldn't be any better, and exactly what I was looking for.
What was the joke you told almost immediately upon seeing it, Nick?
Oh, I said when the hair grows back, are you going to shave a goatee right underneath that missing schnoz?
Kate, like I said, Kate already hopped on that one the second she got done with it. She's like, oh, you could kind of manicure some of the hair to make it look like there's a face on the back. You're like,
I know, it looks like a minion.
so
see, the crazy thing, though, is that didn't some younger Arabic man hit on you because of how great he thought your calves were?
that is correct.
So you're just a calf tease, aren't you?
I am.
You're putting more reasons when you
sure
go into
am.
those gas stations.
Do you all hear what just happened there? Did everybody catch what just happened there? Someone said, you know what, I'm not even waiting. I'm going to put myself early and strong.
Yeah.
Episode title.
That's right. That's all he is.
Calf tease?
Yeah.
He
He's like, I'm not waiting.
He is. He's a
I'm
big
swinging for the
calf
fences
tease.
almost immediately.
Yeah.
So, okay, so just the grizzly then.
It was very odd. Very, very odd. But the point of the story being, while we were there getting our tattoos done, there was an apprentice in the back working on another tattoo. And Kate, who owns the shop, she kept on going back there and checking on her before we started mine. She kept apologizing. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I got all the time in the world today. And so she's like, oh, there's a special color that she's trying to mix that she's never mixed before. So I just want to make sure she's getting it right. I said, okay. Kind of forgot all about it. The apprentice came walking by Kate's room, and Kate was like, that's not good. And the apprentice was like, hey, the guy's like, he can barely get through the outline. Like, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. Like, he's already, we're on a break right now, and we just started.
Must be
Kate's
related
like,
to me.
And I'm like, so now my mind's going. I'm like, what is this guy getting that he can't stand the outline of the tattoo? Like, it has to be his first tattoo. Like, there's no other way around it. So then Danielle finally got there and started talking with Kate, and SpongeBob came up somehow. And I think Kate was talking to the apprentice about SpongeBob. And so I finally asked him, like, hey, so was the special color the yellow for SpongeBob? She's like, well, no. There's no yellow in SpongeBob. I was like, well, yeah, there is, Kate. There is yellow in SpongeBob. She's like, well, no, it's like he's supposed to be a ghost with like it's almost like a light blue like blanket over him. I was like, okay, that's really weird and interesting. By any chance, like, where's this guy getting this at on his body? She's like, oh, as a tramp stamp.
That's what I'm talking about.
Daniel, our jaws hit the floor. Like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Like, so it's SpongeBob as a ghost on this gentleman's lower back, which again, didn't see him, but I can only assume it was his very first tattoo if you couldn't get through just the outline.
But, well, okay, yeah, but based on where he was getting it on his body, even if, whether he was covered in tattoos and that was the only blank spot left, or it was his first tattoo, why would he go with the tramp stamp area?
Well, I mean, think about this.
I don't know, man.
Think about this. Let's say this person was like kind of a nerdy skater into comic books and cartoons and things like that, and he's got tattoo. I'm sorry?
Oh, no, sorry. I'm saving. I didn't say a word.
Okay,
I'm saving it for later.
It just seemed like you automatically disagreed.
I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
did. Yeah.
So
I'm saving it for later.
Let's say, he's very expressive, and he's got sleeves up and down his arms and up and down his legs and all different sorts of, Mario Kart and crazy things like that.
Is it a sleeve up his leg?
Sure.
I thought that was a
What?
A leg sleeve?
What do you call
A pant?
a leg full of tattoos?
a pant.
Yeah, he's got a sleeve and a pant.
I don't think that's what they call it.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
okay.
that close to the community, so I'm not sure. But if it's called a pant, please text us at 618 Shocker. So he's got his two sleeves and his two tattoo pants.
The old tattoo pants.
Let's even say he's got the face of and body of an axolotl in his nether regions. And
Whoa,
let's
this took a turn.
say that the small of his back, because of that specific reason, because he was like, dude, I'm never getting the small of my back. That's weird. And he's like, wow, this is one of the last spots that I have
there's
left.
nowhere else to go.
This
Right.
is
And I thought about that.
Yeah.
The bottom of my foot,
right.
or shave my head and do it on the skull.
Yep. Nope. Done. Already has Mario up there.
All right,
you
well.
know.
So, but that's the thing. If you have them all over your body to where that's the only spot you have left on your body, there's way worse
winning.
parts of your body that would hurt way more than the small of your back.
But he already has the
Well,
axolotl.
I have a story about that.
Hey,
So
I'm gonna
before
throw-
your story, Todd, just to
I'm going to throw the ghost up on the screen. real quick.
throw it up there.
This is what Danielle and I found. One of the very few, because it was only in I think 2 episodes that he dressed like a ghost. And if this is what this guy has on his lower back, I'm just fucking blown away.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that it says "Lucky You" underneath it too.
That would,
So that's what it was supposed to be. But no.
So
but
is that
she's-
taken right from the cartoon?
yeah.
It looks very amateur.
It
It
does
looks
because
amazing.
because he's supposed to be a sponge,
Yeah,
which
and
means he's square.
He's not circular.
And so if that came right from the show, now I don't know what to
I
even
think Corey.
believe anymore.
I think Corey drew this on the way over.
Well,
Yes.
sponges
While
are
I was
soft, Bob.
while I was driving here.
Sponges are soft, Bob. The light blue cloth would make the corners more rounded.
No, you are violating one of the tenets. I'm not a illustrator,
Hold on, but
but you're violating one of the tenets of comic books or of cartoons in general in changing the shape of your character just because you threw a sheet over him.
so also, right from the horse's mouth, Corey said that she said there is no yellow in SpongeBob, and clearly his legs and arms were yellow in this. So that could not have been what he got.
No, she didn't say there was no. She just said that wasn't the color the special color that she had to mix.
Oh, okay.
But because I was thinking, the whole body of SpongeBob. She's like, well, yeah, she's like, it's not. She says it's not all yellow. It's a blue that I had to mix.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, we were absolutely floored.
That's a horrific tattoo to get anywhere.
No,
I agree.
I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect.
Well, Todd, guess what, buddy? When you come up to Tawas, there's a couple
That's
tattoo
my
parlors
Christmas.
up there.
That's my Christmas. Is that my Christmas gift?
That's your Christmas and your birthday gift. So yeah.
Hey, Bob. So the story I was going to tell is that there was a long time ago, actually not too long ago, but I was on a trip to Ireland and I had flown a gazillion hours, land in Ireland. I'm like, I got to get to bed, but I couldn't sleep. And kind of like we were talking about last week, I had to, for whatever reason, I turned on the television to kind of calm myself before I tried to go to sleep. And there was a show on about this company. It's kind of like Pawn Stars, but for tattoos. And it was this company in Europe that fixes bad tattoos. And so when you said that, like the bad tattoos, I just was thinking I could not go to bed. I was up till like 4:30 in the morning, even though I was in my hotel room by 10 o'clock watching the show, because there was the worst tattoo spot that you can get. They thought it was actually illegal. A guy passed out in Thailand, and his brother everywhere they'd ever visited, they got a tattoo of whatever the major landmark was in that area. And his brother, when his brother passed out, he got paid for them to do a tattoo with Thailand, and the city of Bangkok was the spot on the map was on his butthole. What? And they were like, "This is like illegal. I can't believe somebody actually did this." And so and literally the show was them fixing tattoos that were bad because. He had a tattoo, and the landmark was actually they tattooed all inside his ass cheeks, and where the dot of Bangkok would be, and I think it's the perfect city.
First of all, looks like someone's trying to give you a run for the money on
an episode title. He always does. He feels like he has to. He's got. I'm telling you, he's got a little tiny Dictionary full of possible episode titles.
Right. Bangkok butthole.
Work these in somehow.
That's
work these in somehow.
That's
and
another
that's not a
strong
part
swing.
of the Bangkok butthole story, by the way.
So, secondly, other than somehow removing it via laser surgery, how are you?
They don't remove it.
But how
they
are you
improve them?
How
So what they did is they they colored it all in, and they made some other. I can't remember what it ended up being, but they re-tattooed the whole thing. Just like there was a woman. One of the other ones that was very intriguing was a woman who was a concierge at one of the big casinos somewhere. She got all lit with one of the high roller customers, and she had a large bosom, and so she got drunk, and he's like, "We're getting tattoos," and so he's like, "I'm paying," and she got so wasted, and then she passed out in the tattoo artist's chair, and so she hadn't picked what she wanted, and so the guy paid for them to put side boob on the side of her big boob.
That's a great. Wow.
Dude, I was up all night long watching all these horror stories, and then some dude had "It's Drunk O'Clock Somewhere" tattooed around his nipple. That's why I'm never getting tattoos.
That would tickle.
Yeah.
That would definitely tickle.
Before we move on,
Thank you for indulging me.
Yeah, no problem. Can we just put out a call to all of our audience to, if you've got a tattoo that you'd like to share, whether you're proud of it, whether you're like, this was a mistake, and I just like to share it with you.
Oopsie.
Send it to
Especially
618 Shocker.
Yep. And we'll let you know. Maybe we'll show it on the air.
Unless you tell us not to.
I mean, then it'll probably still get shown.
All right.
No.
If you got a shot, go ahead and pour one. If the electric lettuce is more your thing, then go ahead and roll one, or put a gummy in your mouth, or smoke one, or do whatever it is you crazy drug kids do. And
No powder, no pills.
that's right.
I feel like last episode, you had some harsh words for Canada, but now you are embracing them.
Canada?
Redeemed.
Yeah.
When did I bring up Canada today?
Last week. No, last week you did.
Canada.
But today you are now embracing them in the electric lettuce terminology, which I think is Canadian in nature.
I mean, it was on Letterkenny.
I rest my case. So
Right.
kudos
There
to
you
you,
go.
sir, for trying to bring Canada
for
back
growing.
into-
Most of the things I say on this show are serious, so I would understand why you'd be concerned. But anyhow, cheers, guys. If you got one, put
was
it up.
during our serious
Stop
segment.
talking, Bob. Stop talking.
Yes. Yes.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.
Oh,
That's the good stuff.
Guys, something we haven't spoke about. We have
Spoken?
completely we have completely switched it up tonight. At least half of the group has switched it up.
the lower class half, let's say.
Lower class half.
We know what's happening in Seattle. It's top shelf liquor,
Yeah.
craft beers.
Yep. I would say this: the taller portion of the show has picked something different for this evening. Something different for this evening.
Look at you, Corey, in the tall group.
I made it.
And I will say, Bob and I, this is one of the few times we haven't gone around the table and said, "What's everybody drinking?"
Yeah, it's
And
too depressing today.
this is the first. We've switched it up. So Bob and I have switched over to. We're getting ourselves river ready for our vacation. Sun cruisers, good iced
if you
tea.
could only see the disappointed look at my face.
Yeah, I don't know. You should be proud, man. You should be
No,
very
it's
proud.
it's an adult, responsible change, life change, basically.
You can call it whatever you want to put whatever bow you want on it. It's delicious.
Feels good.
It is iced tea with vodka and lemon. And there's a peach one, there's a raspberry one, and it basically tastes like it has no sugar in it. It just tastes like tea, like basically unsweetened tea, and it's fucking phenomenal. It has no carbonation in it, nothing, and they go down like water. And when I first tried it, I was like, God, this would be great on the river. Just, you want something refreshing, not, like get you all bloated, And I talked to Corey. He independently had tried it himself and also liked it. And it's grown on Bob and Lori, and they're now drinking it tonight.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future.
And we were all kind of tired of Fireball, so we switched to Pink Whitney, which you can find on Barstool Sports if you watch them. It is a pink lemonade vodka, and it's got about half the sugar as Fireball. So we're going to try that out and see if we feel better tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the...
Yeah.
A shout out to the Sun Cruiser Beverage Company of Brenningsville, Pennsylvania. Good stuff.
Dude.
We love.
How many
Sponsor
calories
our
in there, Bob?
podcast. Please sponsor our podcast.
100.
Yeah, 100 calories.
not bad.
Per no.
That's
Unless
not
you
bad.
Unless you drink all 8 in the 8-pack.
4.5% alcohol.
You're going to be peeing all night.
Gluten-free.
Same in these.
Bah.
Tea.
Bah.
You mean with the peeing or the calories?
You had me until you said that light beer level of alcohol.
I know. Yeah, it's not a high level.
And I'm with you, Todd. I've been sitting here like basically bringing over every week. I wouldn't say high level IPAs like I've heard you describe, but something more than like Bud Light, Miller Lite. And so it's going to be a change. I really don't know how tonight's going to go. We may have some good stories for next week.
As long as it's with the Sun Cruisers, he brought up, we were hanging out on the 4th at my mom's house, and he had mentioned, you know what? Once I said about the Fireball, he's like, you know what I might do on Saturday then? I think it might be a wine night.
Oh,
and I was like, well, actually, that's going to have to go to a vote now, Bob.
He refused to allow me to go forward with the plan unless it was submitted to a podcast majority vote.
Todd was not with us when we did that episode.
No, he spoke for you, Todd. I think you're okay with that.
Oh man, yeah, that would have been a bad idea.
Yeah. No, and I said, listen, if we're only doing one hour episode, we'll be fine. If there's any problem, it'll be after the show in your kitchen.
You never know, buddy. Fasting Bob in a bottle of wine. That sounds like a
exactly.
But Fasting Bob went out
danger
to,
in my book.
My meal today was barbecue, so I got some food in my belly.
Yeah,
good to
don't
go.
Call it that unless it's
real.
All
we need is that sulfating to come out.
So guys, please track down some Busch Light Peach for the trip, and I will pay for it for you because
Todd Dillon, I found it at the corner Walmart. Who would have
sweet?
thought?
Have you had it?
Not the Walmart, Walgreens. No, I haven't, but they have it there for like $12.99, 12-pack.
Get it super icy cold. I will pay for it. And Mary, Mary and I had a couple of them before I jumped on the show tonight.
I'm sorry, Todd. You stopped talking for a second. All I heard is you just said you had a drink.
Gotcha.
You broke up for a second.
Yeah,
I got you.
But I have not asked you, sir, how your week was going. How your week was?
Oh yeah, week was good. This weekend up till just yesterday, it's been busy. I've been driving down to see the family a lot. 3 days in a row actually. So really cool with the holiday. Yesterday we had a surprise party for my sister down at my other sister's house on the water. Super cool. Had it catered. Anything you can think about for drinks. She had one.
Malort? Was there Malort there?
Oh, there's Malort galore.
Malort galore.
There were these square glass decanters that had homemade regular margaritas and strawberry margaritas, and one of my nephew's girlfriend made them. She basically, my sister was like, "Here's a blank check. Go to the store and buy."
Nephew's girlfriend sounds like this is a 14-year-old girl from made your margaritas.
No, she's like in her 20s.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, mid 20s.
Something legal about the words nephew's girlfriend.
Nephew's girlfriend, exactly.
Yeah,
it
I
does
just
sound
assume anything
underage,
that follows
doesn't
that is like, oh, they were watching SpongeBob.
No.
Exactly.
So,
they were playing with Legos.
Oh,
right.
Man, you guys are old. So anyhow, these were she had a margarita bar, and these were I literally poured probably a quarter of an inch into a cup because I knew I love margaritas and I couldn't be drinking them because I had like a 40-minute drive home. So I was just drinking a couple beers, and I tasted these were delicious. She sent the rest of it home with me. It's in the fridge. It's a jug about that big. If you guys want to try it later on, it's delicious. That being said,
I don't know why we had this whole conversation about Sun Cruisers if you had a giant vat of margaritas in your fridge.
Do you know how much sugar and everything's
do you know
in
how much
that?
sugar and acid is in that?
But it's free.
That's right.
And it might have been at least
minute.
worth the conversation.
Clarifying question.
Yeah.
What's up?
You got acid in there?
Oh yeah, sour mix.
Yep. Oh, I thought you were talking
They
about
like a little
the real
jalapeno.
acid.
This
I thought
is
you
a
were talking
14-year-old
no.
girl who made these margaritas.
LSD.
Jesus.
It was.
So
It's
anyhow,
and there's acid in. I thought he had some tabs in there.
so I know you guys have seen the pictures of that awesome like 14-person granite bar she has outside
huge.
under that pavilion.
Yeah.
So we're all sitting out there, and there's got to be 50, 60 people, and all of a sudden my brother-in-law, and he's making a couple. Everyone kind of filtered out, and he's making these Grey Goose. I think it was Grey Goose on the rocks or Grey Goose in water or something. And he's sitting there
delicious.
sipping on, and I was just so mad because every possible like top shelf thing you could think of was there. That under normal circumstances I would love to just fucking hit and get sloshed and just pass out. But I'm like, I know I got to drive. So I'm like, oh, I have my third beer, you know. And she's
Dude,
like,
why didn't you get your Uber on?
she's like, stay the night. Because it would
Yeah,
have been
get your
$100
Uber on.
ride
Stay the
from
night.
home from my sister's. So anyhow, so he starts talking to me. He's like, yeah. He's like, so this is my brother-in-law, Charles. Charles is a great guy. Known him for many, many years. He is big wig, vice president of a company, very knowledgeable man. But he's one of those kind of guys that doesn't say a lot, but if he says something, it's kind of meaningful. And he used to say that he listened to the he listened to the he listened to the show all the time, and I haven't heard that.
I thought you said he was really smart.
And I haven't heard that in a while.
We're his type of
We
podcast.
don't hear that very often at all.
And he used to always say, he's like, man, I don't know what it is about it. It always pulls me in. And I get about halfway through, and I'm like,
The fuck am I doing?
why am I watching
Yeah.
this? I don't know why
There
I'm
it
even.
is.
I don't know why I'm watching this, but I always do. And so I hadn't heard anything. I don't see him enter the room, and so
I wouldn't call that glowing praise, by the way.
No, but hey, we got something.
Praise is praise.
It's like a.
Is that praise?
We have a sparkle.
Sure, I'll take it.
We have a sparkly lure on the end of a fishing line.
The way you described it, I don't know if it was verbatim, if you were quoting him or if you were paraphrasing, but it sounded like someone who had gotten their foot caught in a bear trap, but they really liked the way it scratched a particular itch they had on their ankle.
No,
They
I have a
just didn't
different
want to
analogy,
fight it
Bob.
too much. Yeah.
Nope. It's like jumping in a cold pool, and then you feel the warm pee of the person next to you, and you're getting ready to jump out. And you're like, but this pool's pretty cold. I'll stick around for a bit.
So, Todd, how many pools have you jumped into that you could clearly tell someone was peeing next to you?
Todd jumps right next. No one else in the pool. Right next to the
You guys understand that they also brought up again about how we're welcome to come do the podcast around their pool.
Yeah.
And this probably just threw that right out the fucking window
Todd's
with
not
the
gonna
pee
do
talk. So
I didn't
lives in
ask the
Seattle.
pier in the pool.
Yeah.
I'm not the pier in the pool, but I don't run away from a warm stream in the cold pool.
Todd will seek you out if you're peeing.
For all intents and purposes, Todd is the peer in the pool.
okay, and he's not. So yeah,
Yeah,
he's not a risk. He's in
Yeah.
Washington, guys.
That was a quick deflection to, oh yeah, the person next to you peeing. You know it's your own pee.
So a couple times I brought up to Bob, I'm like, back in the ICQ days, they used to have something that showed on the chats who was live in the room as a person, and they had another little alien symbol for lurkers, and that just meant that someone was not actually in the chat room, but they were still watching the chat go on. Sort of like if you're watching
I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, you're watching Facebook from your feed, but you're not entering the room. And so I was talking to him. I said, don't get down on yourself, buddy. Just because we only have 3 people in the room, there's a good chance there's lurkers out there. And he was like, well, lurkers? And
Hundreds
so
of them.
I went into that analogy. And so that being said, people just out there randomly seeing the show, the number of people in the live should not be an indication as to who may see this or who may not. As I'm talking to him, he goes, I got something to tell you. I said, what's that? He's like, so your show, the podcast. I said, yeah, I know. You used to watch it. You don't like it. You don't know why you go into it. He's like,
hold on. Did you just have an instinct to start off with, I'm really sorry?
yeah, yeah. That's how I am.
An upfront apology about whatever your experience was. Just want to say I'm sorry.
Everyone.
Right. I don't even know what you're going to say.
My mom's like, I'm sorry. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand
Sorry
that.
you don't get it.
You don't have to get it.
So sorry.
It's not everyone's speed. I understand
Yep.
that. So you're already in like backpedaling mode.
Yeah. Defensive.
And I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say? What did my idiot friends
Yeah.
say?
Oh my God.
And he's like, no. So I can't ever catch your show on a Saturday night. He's like, but I watch it on Fridays. He's like, so it's probably like the week before or whatever. And I really get into it. He's like, he goes, I'm serious. He goes, and he starts laughing, and you could tell he's feeling all right from the Grey Goose, but he's not intoxicated.
Kind of
Not even
sounds like
good
it.
booze.
No, he was not. He was
These
not.
are not the words of a sober person.
He was not. And he goes, let me just tell you something.
By the way, if you're listening right now, props to you, sir. for taking the chance.
Charles.
Still,
Hey, Charles.
I feel like you were drunk when
I'll tip you some
No,
good
he
vodka too.
Dude, Charles could buy and sell you, buddy.
That's
So
fine.
anyhow,
but that doesn't mean Rich doesn't mean good taste.
an
I'll
all-out
tip you
bidding
some good
war
vodka.
between Todd and Charles.
Yeah, helicopter versus helicopter.
Mono,
Spy versus spy.
mano a mano. Mountain versus island. So anyhow, so he's like, yeah, I really get into it. He's like, so much to the effect, and he starts chuckling to himself. He's like, it's kind of funny. I said, what's funny? He goes, you know how you guys have like the chat, where you're talking to people and people are saying stuff in the chat.
No, we don't. We're rarely talking to anybody.
I said, yeah. He goes, I know it's not live. He goes, but I'm constantly saying things and thinking to myself, why aren't they saying my name? Why aren't they calling me out and saying, saying Charles?
Hold on. Is he saying I'm saying things verbally?
Yeah.
And he's wondering why we're not typing answers to his
Yeah.
verb, like we can hear him. Like even if we were live, how is that possible?
Because he obviously can't. So he can write comments and stuff.
But he's just saying this out loud.
No,
This
no,
was
typing into the chat.
Yeah,
Mary does that too.
Previously live show. So we were not
people do
live
that
at the
too.
time.
But I could totally understand how if you didn't understand that you couldn't interact on a chat with something that happened a week previously.
Yeah.
But he was still typing in there, and he's like, I don't know why they're not seeing my
That's
text.
what he was doing.
Okay, I think you thought he was saying it verbally.
No.
Like,
He
that's a
wasn't
whole
talking
other
at his
problem.
computer. No.
Okay, my computer can hear me. Why
And
aren't
he's
they
like,
answering me?
he's like, I say a couple things here and there, and I honestly think to myself, why aren't they fucking acknowledging me? Why aren't they saying anything? He goes, and he starts just belly laughing. He goes, I know it's not live. I know it's from last week. He goes, but it makes me feel involved. He goes, I feel like I'm a part of the show.
Hey, whatever works.
Listen, I would like to. I'm gonna talk into this camera right here.
Yeah.
You can put me on full screen.
Oh, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, sure. Well, I didn't
got
want to just launch into it. I don't control the video, Corey. All right, so I'm talking to Charles now. Charles, when you're watching this a week from now, next Friday, and I know that this isn't live. This was last week. I'm speaking to the Charles of the future. When you read this, when you see this, you should think to yourself, I want to get involved with those guys, and there is a way for you to interact directly where we will respond to your questions. We will involve you. We will reach out to you and directly interact with you during the show. And the way that you do that is when we go live on Saturdays, that's when you do it. That's when you participate. Maybe you got some crazy corporate meetings that always happen Saturday night at 9:00 p.m.
He might. Very busy man.
But if you're the captain of industry,
Eastern
as I've
time.
been led to believe, just have one of your underlings do it next week and have them type it up and send it to you Sunday morning, and you can read it and react accordingly. And then Saturday night, spend it with us, spend it with Nick and the rest of his friends. And
Bob.
we'll absolutely interact with you. Yes, Todd.
I have a different idea.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a special Friday episode and make Charles the
Just for
guest?
Charles.
Hold on. Now, first of all, if Charles wanted to come on and do an interview with us
I'll tell you this.
in a professional capacity.
A couple things. I know
Yeah.
he'd be interested in that. And two, we have tossed the bag around about the idea of doing a poolside podcast, more especially now than ever. And my sister brought it up again last night. She said, we've asked Nicholas several times if he wants to come over. We've offered him to come do a podcast here, and he's more than welcome to.
Yeah.
And I know he was kind of giggling the last time we were supposed to do it before we had that monsoon,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
and he was like, I don't know. I said, you don't know what? If I know you were supposed to come over here and do a show while we were out of town, but I think I kind of like to be around. I said, why?
That's
Are you
what
going
I'm
to be
talking about.
I said, why? Are you going to be on the show? I haven't made up my mind yet. I said, okay, so I think there's a little part of him that maybe wants to be on the show.
It almost feels
Charles
like
wants to be a star.
I don't
He
know
does.
Charles at all.
Charles is a star, man.
It sounds like he maybe did like a week as a DJ on his local college radio station back.
Oh,
in the day.
DG.
DJ. And
I thought I heard DG.
And he misses those days. He looks back on it fondly like, oh, I really had a lot of fun. I feel like I've got a flair for that. And he's never been able to tap into that since.
Are you saying that he was Mr. X?
He could have been Mr. X.
Dude, I don't know. All I know is he used to, and anything I was struggling with in high school, he would tutor me while he was dating my sister. He was going to medical school and decided to go into business. Obviously, that was the right idea because he does very well for himself. And they're currently building a house down in Jacksonville right now on another island from the ground up, exactly how they want it.
Jacksonville's not an island.
Right off the coast.
Oh.
It's next to Alabama.
And when I asked him about it, so you guys
In the middle of Idaho.
you guys know about grilled zeal. When I asked about him, he said this island right outside of Jacksonville, he said, is grilled zeal on crack, basically.
Well, Grozeel has a lot of crack on it.
Yeah, can't be more on crack.
No black people on it, for sure.
It's going to stay that way, Todd.
I know it's going to stay that way. I know.
Oh, come on.
I know what Charles
Give
is
me
talking
a
about.
break.
Wow.
Keegan just told me the other day she saw a black man walking down the street and she locked all our doors. I was like, come on, Keegan. Jesus Christ. Keegan lives on Grozeel now. If you didn't,
We are a comedy podcast, so I'd like to just hammer that point home. A lot of things we say are for effect.
I like
and
how
are generally not true.
I like how we're all
No,
like happy-go-lucky.
true. I
and
worked in
within-
gross. I used to work in the grosses, the gross points, gross eels, gross other places black people aren't allowed in Detroit. I know the deal.
Listen,
Yeah, that we
listen,
should
man.
step back and let you say those things
Listen-
rather than us
Listen,
saying
man.
those things.
I like how I had some positive story. We've all been relatively positive, and
Yeah.
in one fell swoop, Todd suddenly made us all racist. Isn't that crazy?
Shazam! Welcome.
That's right. Because Todd is in such another tax bracket that if people like us, white people like us, were in his neighborhood, he'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here, you
Yep.
bums."
He might have been feeling defensive because I think he was told just a few minutes ago that, this Charles could buy and sell you many times over.
I think, yeah, it's a little defensive.
But
No defensive. No defensive. I get
Uh-huh.
it. I get it.
Okay, you don't got a mountain? Oh, you got an island. Oh, who cares?
In Alabama.
Todd's got a
I mean Jacksonville.
Todd's got a helicopter. I have a tank.
Hey, Charles, if and when you listen to this,
it's going to be next Friday.
just so you're aware, Todd is on the other side of the country, and we don't invite him to a lot of things. So please still invite us to your house to do a poolside podcast.
I'll be there.
Dude, why is it so windy? What's going on with the trees?
Yeah.
Is this a helicopter
Do you
landing
know
by
what
the
a
pool?
flex that would be if Todd just uninvited just helicoptered down onto the property?
Let's get it on,
Guess what,
baby.
bitch? How many people can
I'm
afford
back,
to come
baby.
here from
Hey.
Seattle on no notice
He,
or an invitation?
he parachuted into the pool,
Yeah.
That would be pretty bad.
and then he drowned.
Nah, parachutes and tattoos, not my bag, baby. Not my bag.
All right. I feel like we probably need to get the show started at some point here. So I'm gonna kick off the airing of grievances.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about it.
See, this song needs a drop where I could go, oh, there's the drop. Now I can pull it down. It's just one long Seinfeld episode.
Rambling
with
Seinfeld
a bass line in it.
You know what's weird is with like some of my segments, he gets 3.5 seconds in, and he's like, done. And then this one,
I think
this
that's what I
bell,
was just saying.
this bell rings on for like 14 minutes.
I literally just said that. I wish that there was a drop, like a bass drop, that I could rely upon to go like, okay, that's enough.
I'm like,
Gentlemen's
Oh,
agreement.
damn. The challenge is on. I'm
He's
going
like, all right.
to remake the second best music intro
No, don't
on
do
this
that.
show.
There's already other music that doesn't exist that still needs to be created. And by the way, the gentleman's agreement, I always leave until the fucking.
Normal,
Every
That
time.
is-
just like every other part of your life.
Every time.
That
Once
is
the fucking's
badass.
done, time to get
Bob's out the door.
out the door.
out the door.
All right.
Here's a towel, man.
All right, Corey. I feel like you look like there's something wrong with you.
Well, let's throw it over to Todd first. I want
I
to
feel
hear.
like Todd doesn't have anything for today. I'm looking specifically at your face,
Oh.
though, and you look a little vexed.
Yeah. Let's hear what's vexing you.
Dude, I'm glad
Well,
someone finally said it looks like something's wrong with Corey.
Well, Todd, it's my slight autism. Thank you.
Thanks for
It's that
pointing out my lazy
resting
eye.
bitch face.
So if Todd's got nothing, this actually just occurred on the way over here. I had to stop and get some petrol. And
What's that?
Sorry, what?
some petrol.
A little bit of petrol.
That's right.
Okay.
And
That's fuel in it.
so
Exactly. Nice work, Tiny Tim.
I've been driving for some years now. And
Force mirrors?
What are force meters?
force meters, yeah.
Do you have to have a special license to drive a force meter?
You do, actually.
I'm trying to get a drink on the cooler. I can't even do that because I have to
very
keep going like going, what'd you say?
very
What is
extensive.
that?
But when you prepay at the pump, why in God's name does it stop like 60 cents prior to what you actually prepaid for? It slows down to a crawl. And then you have to sit there for another minute waiting for the last 60 cents to be pumped into your tank.
1 cent. 2 cents.
Yeah. Like, why? I get it. Like, okay, at the 10-cent marker, go ahead and slow it down. I get that. 60 cents
I
till
have
you're
an answer
done.
for you.
I think I do too, but go ahead, Todd. I don't. Maybe
No,
hold on. Maybe you're not looking for an answer. Maybe you're just like, this is an existential question. I don't.
Maybe it's
expect there-
rhetorical.
If
Just
there
want
is
to
an
bitch
answer,
about something.
if there is an answer, I'd like to hear it.
All right, Todd, go ahead.
The technology that tells you how far you are away predates the actual bladder that actually pumps the gas, and therefore it slows down at that because it's such a small unit of liquid that's being moved at that point. It's just literally the gas actually gets in your car before the numbers are done ticking down. But just technology.
Don't buy it
mismatch.
one bit.
I call
Bob,
hogwash.
yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense, Todd.
Makes all the sense.
yeah.
I know people in
What
the
you
business,
just
bro.
said. We're all done.
Call
with
Charles.
For him
Call
to listen
Charles,
to
bitch. Call Charles.
Todd, I lived in Dearborn.
He'll tell you.
That was actually a brilliant
the
answer
gas station
because
capital of the world.
it required no facts to back it up. There was a whole bunch of technical terms. There's nothing I could do to poke holes in that argument because I really don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Call
So
Charles.
What's your
Charles,
theory,
next
Bob?
Friday. Type the answer in the fucking thing, please.
My theory is, it's a theory, is that because once upon a time, you didn't have to pay, you weren't going to pay with a credit card necessarily, and you didn't have to prepay for your gas. You would just pump the gas, and then you would go inside to pay. And they probably looked upon, the advent of being able to pay with a credit card as being something that was in their favor, that was going to stop people from pumping gas and then driving away without paying. So you prepay
Push
for
the
the
button.
gas,
Push the button.
and sorry.
Push the button and it goes, wrong answer.
You already gave your answer.
Because even if you pay in cash, Bob,
Yeah.
it does the same damn thing. If Corey went in and gave the attendant $30, it'll do the same damn thing.
But if you're paying first, which you still have to do with cash,
Right.
then you're going to stay for. Americans want to get every penny's worth. You're going to stay for every penny of what you already paid for.
Well, of course. But here's the thing, though. If I swipe my card at the pump or use Apple Pay at the pump, whatever the case might be, that just keeps on flowing
it's
until
pre-approved.
I let the handle
Until
go.
you stop, right.
And we're all good.
Correct.
It never slows down at any point.
With what?
Correct.
Apple Pay?
I gave you
No,
the
no,
answer,
just-
Corey. You don't like it, but I gave you the answer.
I still say
And ask
that's-
Charles.
Are you saying? Hold on. Are you
now I
saying
have
that
two grievances.
Apple Pay is different than paying with gas with the credit
Okay,
card?
stop,
No,
stop,
no,
stop,
no,
stop,
no,
stop,
no, no,
stop,
no,
stop,
no.
stop. There is when you're pumping beforehand or you're using a credit card, it's an open tab. You can pour $300 worth of gasoline, and it's going to keep going at full speed. He's saying if he goes inside
see.
and pays $20, and when he comes out and it gets to $18.59, it goes chunk, and it drops from that high speed
Yeah.
to a
A
very,
slow
very,
crawl.
very low speed.
Correct, because the technologies are mismatched. The pump and the meter
Bladder.
are on two different bits of technology. And unfortunately, you have to wait until it gets to that other point. So sorry about that. I know a
So
guy
I'm
that
actually
did.
sorry.
So,
with Todd
so
now.
when people are gassing up their Teslas, how does that work?
Gassing
gas
up their
them up.
Teslas?
They don't gas up Teslas, bro.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that explains why mine.
Yeah,
Well, my Tesla stopped working.
That's had to take that one. Had to take that
Some
one back
gas in
real
it.
quick.
No, they're just throwing coal into those big fucking ovens.
I'm like,
you
it's
can
kind of
have
weird. This gas
electricity
is
to
just
fucking
cooling
fire
around
up
my
your
feet when
Tesla.
I'm driving the car. Yeah, I'm kind of siding with Todd now on this.
Oh boy, thank you. You came
I'm
around.
I'm
Ask
still
Charles though. Next Friday, Let's get Charles to chime in the chat, and then we can catch that the next Saturday after that.
I didn't know Charles was a gas pump tycoon.
Yeah, apparently worse for he's captain of weights and measures.
Yeah.
I feel like Charles, much like me, is a successful, smart guy. Nick said smart.
Oh, yeah.
That means you can be smart in more things than the business you're in. I'm not in the petrol business, but I know about a thing or two, and I'm sure Charles does too.
Yeah, but we can't
birds of a feather, bitch.
We can't confirm or deny what you're saying. We don't know.
Birds of a feather. Well, I know a guy who actually makes the software for the point of sales at gas stations.
Oh,
I know a guy.
All right.
But the point of sale doesn't have anything to do with the actual flow of the gas.
So tell me this.
Corey, I want you to listen to this part of the podcast next week.
I'm going to, and you're still going to be wrong.
I'm not going to blame you for being shorter than your average bear, but dude,
how the fuck did you bring that up? Nothing to do with anything.
Todd, tell me this. How do the small, medium, and large cup pre-dispensing buttons at Taco Bell know how to immediately fill a cup up till the rim of the cup with no problem, but a gas pump seemingly with the same technology?
When did you work at Taco Bell?
Have you ever seen a Taco Bell? They for all their different cups, you can press a button and walk away, and it'll go, and it'll fill it up immediately, and it knows when to stop. That's liquid. Yep. That's technology.
100%.
Easy.
100%.
Todd's got an answer.
Gas is a $1 billion industry. You've seen some very fancy gas stations. How do we not at some gas stations have the technology to walk away while this fills exactly very fast up to the point?
Like I said, I'll even give Todd's crazy ass theory a little merit.
I'm still winning, but I have to chuckle at that.
In the fact that, but again, why can't it at 10 cents? It should be able to do that.
No, at no sense.
It shouldn't do it at all.
It should go full speed all the way to the end.
Doesn't start
it's
going
computerized.
It starts full bore.
And you're not cranking a handle like an old pump at a schoolhouse.
It should finish as though you had let go of the handle.
That's what you would think.
Yeah. Todd's
Plus, there's probably some side benefits too. You might that extra time. If you got to pee, you might walk into the gas station and buy a Snickers or something.
Give me a break.
But I was already just in there.
Actually, let me answer Nick's question first. Why do the soda machines? Soda machines don't rule the world, whereas gas stations still do. And so those are easy to switch over in a day to get the new tech that spits it out right at the level. Because you mentioned Taco Bell,
right?
But McDonald's doesn't have any technology that stops anywhere. It's not even pre-programmed. They've stayed with the old technology. Fill it till you spill it. So Taco Bell, they've invested in new tech that does that. In a couple of years, if we actually upgrade our petrol infrastructure, you'll find that we can get it. We can probably get it to you quicker, and only make you wait for the last 20 cents. But I still think now that I'm thinking about it, the longer you have to wait for that last dollar to pump, that's an opportunity to sell you a taco or one of them old hot dogs or some other shit, or listen to one more commercial on the gas station pump. It's a little bit of marketing, baby.
Now that I buy.
Play your applause drop, would you please?
No.
Play the applause drop. Come on, give him a bone. That was a thoughtful, measured response.
Oh, I like
and I'm thinking about,
I like the insertion of measured.
I'm thinking about. Thank you.
Whoa.
That was the wrong buzzer.
Was that a horn from a train?
What was that?
Not the robot fart. That was the robot fart.
I'm thinking about
drop.
Charles going like, I think I now understand what he is attracted to about this show. One episode, we're talking about weights and measures, and solving the world's problems, the world's complaints, and the next episode, we're talking about dick and fart jokes, and it's that yin and yang, right?
He's like
a little bit of the salty, a little bit of the sweet, a little bit of that.
Yin and yang, baby.
See you next Friday, Charles.
Yeah, I think he's like,
and a little bit of cabbage.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't listen to this.
The only thing I'll add to that is that I think Nick said gas stations are $1 billion company, the petrol industry.
Trillions.
And the one thing that I have learned since I went to work with Todd for sort of a different tier of employer in 2000 is that the billion-dollar companies, that doesn't necessarily translate to a higher level of ideas and technology.
Like keep it simple, stupid kind of thing?
Like, it's really hard to teach old dogs new tricks.
Yeah, it's worked for years.
Word.
Let's leave this the way it is.
Yeah, but you were able to add TVs onto gas pumps. Like Todd said, they have these running ads now on these TV screens. Like, you're able to upgrade to that. But
The underlying
they get a lot of money from
pumping
those.
infrastructure is the same still, though.
Yeah, that's just putting. I think what you're talking about is just the lipstick on the pig.
Word.
You put this fancy,
Thank you, Bob.
schmancy thing here, and underneath it, you've got 1940s
The same
gas station
shit.
technology.
Correct, because I make more money if I spend less.
Well, when I open my gas station, it's going to be all new infrastructure.
Can we just for a second talk about Corey's gas station?
Oh, boy.
Oh, Buc-ee's, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Corey's
Did you see, was it the Buc-ee's headquarters caught on fire?
Did it?
Yeah, I think it was either headquarters or like one of their biggest distribution centers.
Corey's like, I don't know anything about that.
We still need to go to a Buc-ee's. I think that'd be like a heaven for me.
The last two people that I've
been to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, that I've heard have been to Buc-ee's were not impressed.
Oh, it doesn't take much, Bob. Doesn't take much over here.
Buc-ee's is awesome.
Yeah,
See?
New set of Carhartts and a CB radio plus a full tank of gas. You're winning.
Todd, I just got a little hard, buddy.
and a foot-long churro.
Oh,
Todd,
come on now.
Todd, you know this guy has CB radios built into his personal vehicle. Corey does.
That sounds about
CB,
right.
They're GMRS.
And he loves tactical pants.
Bite your tongue. It's
Breaker.
GSMR, whatever he said.
GMRS.
Right.
What?
They're not CB. CB's
what
the
I
old.
said.
CB's the old technology.
You're thinking of ASMR.
Negative. I like that too, though.
I'm thinking of
ASPCA
STFU at this point. All right, we really should get this show started here in a second. So,
Good night, everybody.
Yep, I'm going to throw it over to Corey for TikToks.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm pulling that right all the way. There you go.
See?
Yeah, see? Yep.
You don't know.
That's not your segment.
You don't know how to
I
do
did
It
it
only
to
gets
him, too.
better. It only gets
Aren't
better.
you happy now? I don't just do it to you. I
No.
do it to Corey too.
It
What
gets
would
better.
make you happy, Nick?
You got to learn how to let the music play.
Jesus fucking Christ. This isn't the fucking NPR.
I know. And he stops the other song at the F-bomb, and he drops two of them in 2 seconds.
Yeah. And
Nice
when
work,
does
Bob.
NPR play music?
Look, the next time any of you fuckers want to take over and run the show, you are welcome.
All right.
Oh, dude, that offer's been out there for 285 episodes, and no one's ever taken me up on it.
All right. So for TikTok this week, I have first.
Che.
We're gonna go with some Michael Che and some jokes from SNL.
Volume.
Month, Beyonce posted a photo on Instagram of herself in a chrome Versace dress and platinum blonde hair that many people online described as too white. In fact, Beyonce looked so white that I was finally attracted to her. That is...
Hold on. Can you pause? What is the other video that's... Is that...
It has nothing to do with that.
Okay. It's fucking distracting me.
I know.
It's perfect.
I think people do it for like copyright purposes, so they can say it's their
Oh,
video.
so if they're trolling and they're looking for... The parent company's looking for this video or audio pattern that's going to throw them?
Yeah, apparently. That's the only thing I can come up
We
with.
got to do that.
Yeah, because the robots can't figure
If
that
we
out.
did that, I mean, we could play any song on the podcast that we wanted.
Yeah, probably not.
We could. Batman.
So
Survivors Act, which allowed sex abuse victims to file lawsuits even after the statute of limitations expired, has resulted in several new suits. Figures, because bitches love bringing up old stuff.
The woman marched with King. MJ, the musical about the life of Michael Jackson, has become one of the highest grossing shows on Broadway. My review of the acting is the same as my opinion of MJ's trial. Michael is amazing, but the kids are not believable at all. But I don't want to end like that. It's the holidays, and I want to end on a positive, uplifting note, especially with all the turmoil in the Middle East right now. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, whether you're Jewish or Muslim, y'all need Jesus.
Wow, that was a great message.
Wow. Oh,
That's a great message.
Wow.
That's a great message. If people can find you on Instagram, that's cool. The state now allows movie theaters to serve alcohol, which is how I'm finally able to enjoy my wife's little art movies. I'm kidding, honey. I love all of your movies. And if you ask me, you're an even better Black Widow than Coretta Scott King.
Oh, man.
They
had some good ones.
They didn't show that the like you said, there to the left of the or to the right of Colin was a woman that was an actor but playing a civil rights leader, a black woman. They didn't show her in the video. I saw that live.
It was TikTokified just for the portrait phone view.
Yep.
All right, so this next one, this is an athletic feat that the second I saw it, I was just blown away. It's they're at a roller skating, like a skating park, where they have like the bowls and everything, and you'll see how the rest plays out.
They have bulls. Oh!
But this is what the peak male athletic form looks like, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it.
So
That's Corey's skinny cousin. Dude, play that again.
Skinny cousin, my ass. So for the audio listeners, this is a heavier dude in jeans with his hands in his pockets.
Big boned, Corey.
Big bone, very big bone dude. With his hands in his pockets, and he rolls up the ramp and does a pristine backflip and lands it solidly
on rollerblades.
You might not like it, but this is what the peak male athletic form looks like, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it.
Corey, I swear that's you.
I maintain that was the 45th take of that particular video.
His face ain't scuffed, Bob.
I was gonna say
his face ain't scuffed,
good.
Bob. Yeah, exactly. That bro got mad skills like Corey.
All of his
short and chubby,
holding him and
short and chubby, but he friggin' got mad
times.
skills.
I was gonna say all the green screen men that were holding him and flipping him upside down.
Right.
The cords
that is
were
more
on,
likely.
The cords that were on him.
Yep,
that
the wires
him
were
to do.
digitally erased.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
So the last one I got for you guys, I played a clip of her prior, Fiona Cawley on Kill Tony.
What were the things that you just said?
Fiona Cawley is her name.
I didn't know. I swear to God, I don't know
I heard
anything that you just said.
I played a clip of her previously.
I heard
Fiona Cawley.
Fiona Cawley. I'm like, I didn't know what you just said.
Yeah, I played a clip of her prior.
A clip of what?
Fiona Cawley.
Richard Pryor.
Kill Tony.
You played a clip of Richard Pryor.
Maybe the word Pryor had thrown him.
Apparently.
I don't know.
I don't know any of those. Okay, so is that
Are
a
your
show
teeth
or something?
swelling?
No. Last week
It was last week. You were,
we talked
you
about
were here.
Yeah,
What's Kill Pryor?
Kill Tony.
Oh,
It's Richard Pryor.
I don't
Are
know.
you fucking with us right now?
No, I didn't know what the. It sounded like you
Okay.
just spoke Japanese.
I agree, Bob. He was talking about killing Richard Pryor, and I took offense.
As you should.
Last week, Corey was talking about a show called Kill Tony.
Oh,
and I
okay.
said, hey, Todd Dillon, the Jason Michael, the comedian that you're talking to, that's the show that he was on that I sent a clip out to everybody. And we were talking about possibly being on the show. And he said,
And I said, never heard of it.
Okay.
Keep going, Corey. I give up. I tried to help.
Sorry, buddy. It was a weird arrangement of words, and it didn't sound like anything that I understood.
Fair enough, I guess. But this was another part of that same episode, and some of her.
That's kind of a passive aggressive, like fair enough, I guess.
No, I trust that.
So for those of you that didn't see the last episode, she has MS. She's bound to a wheelchair, but she has a very good sense of humor about everything in her life. And here's another little insight into that.
Fiona Cawley, ladies and gentlemen.
We can talk about it. So I've been in a wheelchair for a few years now, and the most common question I get, people want to know, what is the hardest part about living life from a wheelchair? And, you know, for me personally, the hardest part is just how unaware everyone is of what a great ass I have. Take my word for it. Y'all know how men will brag about like, I fucked her so good she couldn't walk the next day. Rude. Well, I'm looking for a man who can fuck me so good that I can.
Yeah, I said it last week and I'll say it again. One of us needs to reach out to her. I would love to talk to her on the show.
What's her name? Send me the thing. I'll get this done.
She's absolutely brilliant.
Todd, once again, taking the lead.
So there you go. That's TikToks for the week.
All right.
Excellent, sir. Thank you for that.
Excellent.
And I feel like I want to go right into. And Nick's been waiting. Existential question.
All right. Excellent.
Look at me. As I do every week.
You are trying so hard.
I've never cut this song short.
Never?
Not once. Because it's really short.
It was the early days.
Because it's very short. There's no point in cutting it off.
Thank you.
But Bob, why didn't you play the other 13
all
versions
other
of
shit
it?
is like 3 minutes long. And, okay.
All right. So for this installment of Nick's Existential Question, I want to know, what behavior did your parents have that you've made it a point to avoid as an adult for yourself?
Man, he went a different way. I thought he was going to go with that. This is going to be tough.
I went a different way with that, isn't it?
What things did your parents fuck up so badly that you decided, I'll never do that?
What behavior?
I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Did your parents have that you've made it a point to avoid as an adult?
Yep.
Yeah?
This is a deep. I mean, you know what? In concordance with the episode that we have had up until now, it's very appropriate. This has been a very sort of a highbrow episode. A lot of big ideas.
Yeah, I think
a lot
the
of
wet fart
technical
noise,
details.
The wet fart noise really was the definition.
Punctuated
of
by the odd fart noise.
Mm.
I think that pretty much sums us up in a single sentence.
Yeah, sure.
So this question actually is pretty appropriate, but it's a very difficult one. Todd, if you've got something for this one already, jump in.
Nope.
Because okay.
So for people like me,
yeah.
And
people
Corey,
like you and Corey
and Todd, who don't have kids, I know your brain is probably automatically going to being a parent because that's every question. That's where you go.
This doesn't have anything to do with me, with my kids.
Okay.
Well, all of us are someone's children, right?
Really?
Not me.
Am I misunderstanding your question?
I guess I'm a child of
How
God.
do my kids have anything to do with this? This is about
because
us being children.
I could just kind of see you being like,
no,
my parents always did that I never wanted to do with my kids and that's not the question.
No, I know it's not the question.
What behavior did your parents have that you've made it a point to avoid as an adult?
Yeah, that's whether you have kids or not. That's how I'm reading it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No,
Because I feel like there's been a lot of questions where you've fallen on that safety net.
That's probably true.
Being a parent,
I'll take that criticism.
having children
Constructively, I assume.
Yeah.
But no, I read it as being like, this hasn't anything to do with my kids. This is about, life skills or life, just being a person.
Okay.
For myself. Yeah.
For yourself.
But it's going to paint one of my parents in a bad light. And that's where I'm like, I don't know. There's not an easy answer for that.
Yeah, same here. That's why I'm dodging it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, you
But the
don't
show's
have
not
to
about-
pick
yeah.
the elephant in the room. I mean, you don't have to be like
The elephant in the room.
I mean, you don't have to be like,
Do you know something I don't?
I'm saying the elephant in
I
the
already
room
knew the answer
of
about
your
your
own
parents.
mind, like where you know.
No,
because we don't know.
I know.
I got
but-
one now.
Todd, go ahead, please.
I refuse to be a swinger.
Wait, what?
So you're saying your parents were swingers?
Damn it, he stole my
I didn't say anything. I just said what I wouldn't do that my parents did that I didn't do.
Well,
Ipso facto.
Ipso facto, you're saying your parents were swingers.
I didn't say that out loud, did I? I said what I wouldn't do.
But it was something your
You
parents.
don't. This is an existential question and answer. This is an existential question.
That's right. I mean, we usually want an answer, but still.
Okay.
This is not questioning.
If
This is not questioning my answer.
Maybe if I played this theme song again, we could kind of start all over again and just reboot this whole segment.
I told you we could do it twice.
Just because you say a double negative doesn't mean that it's not true, Todd. Oh, boy.
So
It absolutely
listen,
means it's not true.
If that's
All right.
if that's his answer, that's his answer.
That's his answer.
That's his
Thank
answer.
you,
I
Nick.
think that's the biggest bullshit.
You can listen. You can ask him questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rules
Tell
of the game.
Tell us how the swinging went, Todd. Was it a key party?
Hold on. The rules of the game are this: if you're questioning about the answering of the question being legitimate, then you have listen. Hold on. You have every right to grill him and cross-examine him. But if you're asking him questions about his answer and it was a legitimate answer, he has the choice to answer you or not. He doesn't have to answer you. Now, if he fucked up and answered incorrectly, then he has to answer you.
Yeah.
Like if he said,
Nick said.
I like mothballs, and I'm like, okay, clearly that has nothing to do with the question. We can grill him about that.
Let's take a break here. We all have a shot. Let's just do the shot, and then we'll ease back into it. Maybe from a different angle this time.
I think
Like Todd's parents.
I think I.
I don't even know why I'm laughing. Todd won't say a thing. So we're going to do this shot. We're going to do this shot. Please join us. Lord knows you probably need it if you're still listening. So cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Please join us, like Todd's parents. Jeez.
Okay. I'd like to say, with
That's
all,
the
due,
good stuff,
all
Bob.
due respect,
It was the 70s,
Yes, sir.
man.
if someone,
a different
if
time.
one of us answers the existential question, whatever the question may be, and the answer is something so outlandishly questionable, and then naturally, the other three, some of us, maybe all of us, might say, "Please explain," and you go, "I don't feel like it." I feel like that's grounds for like dismissal out of the segment.
I am calling an audible on this one.
If I said to you,
Because
"I'd like
it's
to
personal.
eat mothballs," and you're like,
Why
"Have
would
ever
you
eaten
eat
a mothball?" And I'm like,
mothballs?
"I refuse to say anything
No,
more."
no.
I mean, wouldn't you be like, "That's a bullshit
This
answer"?
In Todd's defense,
Yeah.
the mothballs, I'd be like, yeah, well, what the hell's wrong with you?
Right.
I'd be
I'm
like,
swinging. I mean, I guess
"Not
I
saying
get,
anything, not saying anything more."
If this
I get
got-
why you're swinging.
It was the
makes
70s,
sense.
exactly. It was
if
the
this-
70s.
Bob, if this
Shag
got
carpets.
if this got into something serious about your parents that might make you uncomfortable for us to question it, I would say that he doesn't necessarily have to question
Well,
But hold
that's
on,
kind of on
he
top.
brought it up. It's not like you said anybody whose parents were swingers, please answer.
it. Because he thought that
brought
his
it up.
friends would be responsible enough to hear the answer and understand not to pick it apart.
I think he forgot what kind of podcast he's on, and we've done for 285 episodes.
And I think he forgot his friends.
yeah,
He was answering truthfully.
was he? That's the question. I don't think
being
he was.
vulnerable for my parents.
We just had a moment of vulnerability here, and now you're
Exactly.
picking it apart.
I have never been closer, fellas, to walking off this show, never to return. Giving up all of the rights, all of the trademarks.
What? Hold on. What do you want to ask? Because deductive reasoning
I
gives you
already
all
asked
the
it, and
answers
I got
you want.
fucking poo-pooed.
Bob,
What?
don't worry,
How did they swing? What did they wear? I
Anything.
mean, what do you want to ask?
I'll buy you out of all the trademarks and everything. Don't worry, buddy.
Yeah,
13
someone
cents will
should.
do.
Yeah,
You guys could continue this farce without me.
I'll buy you a 6-pack. We'll call it even.
All right,
Corey.
does someone else with a perhaps legitimate answer want to answer this question?
Oh my God.
All right, so my parents would always, the second it would start snowing,
Yeah.
they'd be out there and shoveling, snow blowing, no matter the amount of snow on the ground. And they would just continuously do that all day long while it was snowing.
No matter if there was snow on the ground.
Like they
So they just shoveled cement?
At a certain point, yes, they were. If there was like not even a half inch of snow,
where most people would probably say it's not enough for me to even put my shoes on, my boots on.
Yeah, you let it build up a little bit, and then or it could potentially stop and then go out and take care of it.
But then you get a heart attack, Corey. That's probably good sage advice. Your parents.
Well, my dad's an idiot then because he already had a heart attack way prior to shoveling snow. So I don't know what his end game was there.
Yep.
But
leave Uncle Porky alone.
Hey, God bless him. But yeah, him and my mom would be out there. Like I said, half inch, they would start shoveling, and then the second they got done with the driveway, you turn around and look back, and there'd be another half inch where they just finished shoveling. So they'd go back and start all over again, and then so you know when you hit the grass line on your driveway, and the shovel kind of stops, and you lift up the snow and toss it. If you used a snowblower,
I never did that,
and went straight down the driveway and left the snowblower line to where it was a perfect 90-degree angle, that was not acceptable to them. You had to take the shovel and round that edge off on the snow and make like a presentable driveway.
It wasn't like a 90-degree angle from the top of the lawn snow to the sidewalk?
You had to round off the top of the snow.
This seems, and God bless her, but this seems more like a quirky idiosyncrasy than a Michael.
But it takes two to do it because it's not like she's like,
and
you
a
stay
first
here,
world
Michael,
problem.
I'm going to go do that. I'm sure he did it.
Oh, he did.
He did it because he knew what time it was.
He was also on board with it, but then when he did have his heart attacks and his bypass, the one thing the doctor told him that he could never do again was snowblow or shovel snow, and he was like, "Ha ha, suck it, Corey."
Listen,
he's like, "Now it's all you, buddy."
Listen here. He did it because he knew what would happen if he didn't do it, and all the more reason when she went out of town, he was walking around in his skivvies making a king-size plate of cocktail weenies wrapped in crescent rolls with 300 of them on them for the son's friends, all whilst still vacuuming because he knew eventually she would be home. But I don't think if he was living a bachelor life, your dad would have been out there shoveling shit.
I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know what? It's
old habits die hard. How long were they married?
They just hit. It would have been 40 years. 2 weeks.
Those
ago.
aren't habits you could just go. Well, I'm done doing that now. It's really tough.
No. But I'm saying Corky is the one that has the OCD about things. I don't think Michael had that. Did he? Maybe I'm speaking completely out of my mind here because I didn't know him that well. But
so I don't.
But I think he was a good husband, is what I'm saying.
True. I mean, fair enough. That's a very nice thing to say. But I think it kind of like grew on him over the years. Because according to my mom, like, when they first started dating, like, everything was very different with my dad. And her dad was the one to kind of bring him into that OCD world.
Yeah.
And, but it is funny you mentioned about the vacuuming when my mom was gone, because when Danielle was gone in Denver this past week, the day before she got home, guess what?
Shit!
Guess what I was doing? I was frantically. I was going around the
Look
entire
at all
house,
these fucking corn chips on the floor.
vacuuming like you wouldn't believe.
But the crazy part about it is that you
come everywhere.
You have
gotta clean it up.
You have what?
What did you say?
Oh, I didn't know if anyone was listening.
Everywhere?
I said come everywhere.
I spit my gum out when.
Gum.
Oh, I thought you said
good.
gum.
Yeah, right.
But you have taken on. I feel. I mean, and maybe I don't know, but I feel that you're the OCD person when it comes to you and Danielle.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be trying to measure up to her yardstick when she comes home if you're the one that's organizing things and all this other stuff.
No, I guess that was just a subconscious thing until you finally mentioned that I was like, yeah, that's the exact same thing I did the day before.
The guy with swinger parents has a clarifying question for you.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, sir.
So exactly what didn't you embrace that your parents did since
Now,
you were a slave to...
You can feel free not to answer this question.
What are you talking about?
So unlike some other people on the show, I will clarify. No, like, dude, when it snows, I'm like, it's going to... And once it stops, I will go out there and take care of the snow.
What if it snows 4 feet and you can't shovel it anymore?
Well, then I guess we're snowed in.
Did you or did you
not?
not?
Oh, so you're a dumbass.
Sure.
All right. Well, there you go, Nick. What thing are you abandoning? My parents weren't dumbasses, but I'm going to be one, damn it.
Yeah. Dylan says Dylan says we are still clearing the snow over here the same way. See, this is the Selesky plague. It's plaguing all these different families, and it doesn't even know. And the crazy part is, and I'm not speaking out of turn, and if your mom were to ever hear this show, or if she was currently in the room, I would say the same thing.
Hi, Corky.
I'm envious. I'm envious of that trait because I wish I had that in me. I wish I had that, what she has.
Dude,
because I don't have that. And I wish I was, on my days off, just completely, being enamored with dusting and cleaning. And I wish I had that, but I don't.
Well, sorry, Dylan. I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to do this on your first comment, but now since you did that one, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to go ahead and fix your profile picture and your name.
Okay, Nick, I need to answer next because we cannot end the show on my answer. It's going to have to be yours.
Okay.
Sorry for the pressure.
No.
So the thing that I decided not to continue with, which my parents did, was I love my parents. And, like New Year's Eve, birthdays, whatever, they would like lean over, kiss on the cheek, kiss on the lips, whatever. But I cannot recall, and maybe my sisters would feel differently, but I cannot recall ever seeing them tell each other that they love them. Like, and I love you. And I don't mean to get deep for the show, but it's a thing that I kind of grew up going like, oh no, I like that. Like that's part of how I like to express myself in that way. So I'll tell my kids, I'll tell Lori. Rob. But I just don't remember ever hearing them. Now that doesn't mean that they never said it, and maybe they only said it in the bedroom when the doors was locked and no one was around. But I don't recall
ever the doors.
Because when you're fucking and you got kids, do I have to explain this to you, Todd? I'm sure you do the same thing with the dogs.
No kids ever rolled into my bedroom.
Out. The dogs don't need to see that.
He gets one good lick from behind. Todd, really gets Todd going.
But I just don't. I do not remember it. It's not part of my childhood. Like hearing them express verbally, like, "And I love you." So that's the thing where I'm like, "Oh,
I love you, Bob."
You just kind of grow up and you're like, "Oh, there's another way to show somebody how you feel," and that's why we can't end the show on that answer. It's fine. You gotta bring it back.
It's difficult for me to kind of answer this question because my parents got divorced when I was 5, and they did everything they possibly could. They fought over us, fought over having us, and they did everything they could, and they swore up and down to never fight in front of us, and they never did. They were great, and I'm racking my brain trying to think of.
And you were never punished as a child either.
Because I'm white.
Very odd to me.
Because I'm white. Is that a white thing?
Because I'm white.
Is that a white? Hey, I got my whippings all the time, Todd. Don't you worry.
Sometimes I think about how come we're not such a popular podcast, and then I think about moments like that. And I'm like, oh no, I know why.
Hey, listen, I worked in Detroit for many years. I know what he was saying. So anyhow, but yeah, no. So it's hard for me to answer this question, but I guess in the most G-rated version of what I could possibly think.
Wait, there's an X-rated version?
Yeah, more along the lines of what Todd's answer was. Yeah, but
all right.
But I would say being so anal about going to bed early and being quiet at nighttime and things like that. Both my parents were really weird about, when they went to bed. And, I remember.
When they went to bed or when they told you to go to bed?
I mean, it was kind of both. Because my mom was really weird with light. Like, she would come down in the middle of the night. I mean, it would be 11 o'clock at night, and I worked midnights or something, and I would legitimately be, coming home from work or something, and she would turn every light off in the house and be like, why are all these lights on? And it would be like one kitchen light. But because she was half asleep, it seemed like the sun was rising in her face. And then my dad, I remember when I was living at his house for a little bit, I remember specifically huddling under the microwave light and pouring cereal into my hand before it hit the bowl because my dad was such a light sleeper. And I'm like, okay, I just want some cereal. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I just wanted a bowl of cereal. And I was pouring it into my hand because my dad is like super, super light sleeper. I don't understand that because I'm not. I could fall asleep on the concrete. A tornado could come by. Nothing will wake me up. And so I'm sitting, huddling under this little microwave light because I'm not turning any kitchen lights on or anything. And I'm pouring cereal into my hand. This actually happened. And then I just kind of caressed it into the bowl. And I'm like, all right, we're good. And I slowly poured the milk in. And I heard.
Did you say milk with an E?
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's how it's spelled, Todd.
Yeah.
M-E-L-K.
This whole story sounds like the plot of Les Miserables. It's just
I've never seen it.
I couldn't even hear it because he's never been disciplined in his life. He needs to get whooping. He fucking. I cupped my Cocoa Krispies before. Actually, hold on.
Nothing chocolate.
Nick doesn't like chocolate or anything sweet.
Thank you for knowing that, Todd.
I cut my grape nuts before they hit the bottom of the bowl.
Grape nuts. Did you eat grape nuts?
I don't even know what that is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You've never had grape nut cereal?
We're getting a little off topic here.
You're older than I am. I know what grape nuts are.
Corey, we're bringing grape nuts to the show. Grape nuts is some milk.
Milk?
Some milk.
Some milk with grape nuts.
Anyhow, I heard this sigh of disapproval, and I turn around, and my father is standing in his whitey tighties at the top of the steps, glaring at me.
Stop that. Reverse it.
Yeah.
Tidy whities.
Whatever.
In Morningwood, I hope.
Wow.
That's a weird
My parents
thing
were
to
swingers,
say.
Corey.
Todd, this was at midnight, so there's no Morningwood yet.
This is 11.
Midnight's the morning, bitch.
And he's glaring at me, and he looks at me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm pouring a bowl of cereal, and he stomped back up the steps like disapprovingly. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I'm right there with you. I'd be in the kitchen trying to be quiet as a mouse, and at some point my dad would get up and come in the kitchen and be like, "Can you shut your fucking phone off?" And I'm like, "What are you talking?" I'm like, "It's on the lowest volume possible. Like I can barely hear it sitting in front of my phone."
You had a phone?
I mean, yeah, when I was 20,
spoiled mofo.
When I was
what were you still living at home for, bitch? No wonder he came down and yelled at you. You should have been on your own. You spoiled first world motherfuckers.
I'd like
my parents was 14.
My
14, baby.
My parents weren't busy out swinging, so
I'd like
they were at home a lot.
Take note, just in your head, just a mental note of how fucking salty Todd has been all night long tonight. Just keep that. And like all men do, just fucking bottle it up and just push that shit down all inside so that next time it can fucking explode like a volcano. Go ahead, Todd.
I don't think he has anything.
Great answer. Exactly.
Todd,
great response.
Todd, you would think that you would have sought some solace while your parents were swinging in between all those whoopings just to have a break.
That's a fair point.
It was a great time to raid the candy dishes, man. It was a great time to raid the candy dishes.
Oh, dude, you don't know what were in those dishes prior to the candy?
So many dirty keys.
Dirty keys and used condoms.
Yeah. Used prophylactics.
Yeah, Nuva rings. Oh.
What?
Old dirty penthouses.
Busty ladies.
Why is this candy must have melted in here? It's an awfully sticky dish.
1971 National Geographic.
Some sort of white powder on this bowl.
You guys hate, I appreciate, and I didn't repeat that same sinful lifestyle, brother.
I feel like that's a great place to end the show
right
there. All right. That's the podcast for the week. On behalf of Corey, Nick, and Todd, this is Bob saying we'll see you next time. Peace out.